Stevie Nicks has long been a defining voice in rock, known for her ethereal presence and emotionally rich songwriting. At 76, her legacy is built on decades of chart-topping hits, iconic performances, and deeply personal lyrics shaped by the relationships and experiences that have followed her throughout her career. But behind the music and mystique lies a lesser-known chapter of her life, one centered on a powerful, enduring love she's rarely spoken about. Now, for the first time, Nicks is opening up about the person who left an indelible mark on her heart. It's a story filled with passion, loss, and the kind of connection that lingers through time. This is the man who inspired some of her most unforgettable songs, and the one she never truly let go. The beginning, 1960s. In the 1960s, Stevie Nicks and Lindsey Buckingham's musical journey began at Menlo Atherton High School in California. Their initial meeting led to a deep connection, both professionally and personally, shaping the future of rock and roll. Their relationship, filled with creativity and complexity, became as legendary as their harmonies. While still in school, they performed together at a senior event, showcasing a natural vocal synergy that hinted at the iconic partnership ahead. After graduation, their paths parted briefly, but 2 years later, Buckingham invited Nicks to join his band, Fritz. This collaboration marked the beginning of their career in rock music. Before long, they were opening for prominent acts such as Jefferson Airplane and Janis Joplin, thrusting them into the thrilling, high-stress environment of 1960s rock music. Early 1970s growing closer as Fritz faded away in the early 1970s, Nicks and Buckingham grew closer. They evolved from being mere lovers into a duo, channeling their passions and emotions into their music. In 1973, they released their debut album as a pair, Buckingham Nicks. Although the album did not achieve commercial success, it set the stage for their future and caught the attention of Mick Fleetwood, leading to an invitation that would transform their lives. Joining Fleetwood Mac, 1975, becoming part of Fleetwood Mac in 1975 signified a crucial turning point for the couple. Their entry into the band breathed new life into the group, but it also placed significant strain on their relationship. While working on the groundbreaking album Rumours, the pressure began to manifest. The challenges of sudden celebrity, combined with the intensity of their creative process, started to undermine their connection. By 1976, during the recording of Rumours, Nicks and Buckingham's relationship reached a breaking point. The anguish of their breakup, however, inspired some of the most legendary songs in rock history. Nicks wrote Dreams, a poignant tune about lost love, while Buckingham countered with the visceral, agitated energy of Go Your Own Way. Their personal struggles, openly expressed in their music, resonated with millions, making Rumours one of the best-selling albums of all time. After the breakup, continued collaboration. Even after their romantic relationship concluded, Nicks and Buckingham's collaboration and music continued, though it wasn't free of difficulties. The friction between them became a hallmark of Fleetwood Mac, injecting energy into their performances and adding complexity to their songwriting that captivated fans. Meeting J.D. Souther after her wild breakup with Buckingham, Nicks found herself diving into a whole new level of fame and artistic exploration. It was during this whirlwind that she met J.D. Souther, who played a brief yet important role in her love life. Stevie Nicks and J.D. Souther first crossed paths in the bustling Los Angeles music scene of the early 70s. Souther was already a well-known figure in the country rock scene, having written some big hits for the Eagles and making a name for himself with his own music. Fresh off her split with Lindsey Buckingham and riding high on Fleetwood Mac's success, Nicks connected with Souther, who understood the roller coaster ride of being in the spotlight. The chemistry between them was electric. Both were recognized for their heartfelt lyrics and emotional performances, and their connection went beyond physical attraction, tapping into a deeper artistic bond. Even though their romance was short-lived, it was filled with a shared love for music and mutual respect for each other's creativity. Challenges in the music industry. However, the music industry that brought them together also posed some serious challenges. The 70s music scene was heavily male-dominated, often sidelining women or seeing them mainly through the lens of their relationships with male musicians. Nicks was determined to carve out her identity as an artist, but she found herself grappling with these industry issues while also navigating her personal life with Souther. She noticed that male artists like Souther enjoyed certain privileges and respect that female artists often didn't get. This imbalance didn't escape Nicks's notice, especially as she was becoming one of the most influential women in rock music, as I. Their relationship evolved. She kept pushing back against these limitations, using her growing influence to champion herself and other women in the industry. Her connection with Souther, ironically, appeared to bolster her determination to gain acknowledgement for her talent, rather than her romantic connections, artistic growth. The short duration of their relationship did not lessen its impact on Nicks's artistic development. Souther's musical expertise and his relationships within the broader music scene exposed Nicks to fresh inspirations and opportunities. Their relationship, both in personal and professional aspects, played a significant role in honing Nicks's unique voice as a songwriter and artist. Following their split, Nicks poured her experiences into her music. The themes of autonomy, strength, and the pursuit of acknowledgement became even more evident in her songwriting. Songs like After the Glitter Fades and Has Anyone Ever Written Anything for You are frequently believed to be influenced by this chapter of her life, although Nicks has consistently preserved a sense of mystery around her sources of inspiration. The next chapter, Mick Fleetwood. As the initial excitement faded from her brief involvement with Souther, Nicks found herself entangled in what would become the most complex relationship of her romantic past. Nicks's connection with Mick Fleetwood played a crucial and intricate role in her personal life, closely linked to the tumultuous and artistically rich dynamics of Fleetwood Mac. This relationship ultimately influenced the path of their band, and the larger context of rock music. The foundation of their affair was laid in the tumultuous atmosphere of Fleetwood Mac during the late 1970s. The band was experiencing peak success, enjoying the popularity of their landmark album Rumours. Yet personal connections were unraveling beneath the surface. Stevie Nicks had just concluded her long-term relationship with Lindsey Buckingham, whereas Mick Fleetwood's marriage to Jenny Boyd was precariously balanced amid emotional strife and creative vigor. Nicks and Fleetwood were irresistibly attracted to each other. The lines separating their professional and personal lives became indistinct, leading to a passionate yet complicated romance. Nicks and Fleetwood's intense relationship. The relationship between Nicks and Fleetwood was intense and full of ups and downs. Their fling took place during a time of crazy tour schedules, long studio hours, and non-stop attention from the media and their bandmates. This romance really shaped Fleetwood Mac's music. The emotional roller coaster they went through added a genuine, raw vibe to their songs that really resonated with fans, but it also brought a lot of drama to the group dynamic. The other members had to navigate the fallout, trying to keep things professional. Even with all that personal chaos going on, for Buckingham, it was especially tough seeing his ex with another band member. Like many relationships that come from such a messy backdrop, Nicks and Fleetwood's romance wasn't built to last. Still, just because the romantic part ended didn't mean they couldn't stay close. Nicks and Fleetwood had to figure out how to keep working together in Fleetwood Mac, turning their connection into a strong friendship and musical collaboration. It wasn't always smooth sailing, but it showed how committed they were to the band and each other. Meeting Don Henley. 1977, after going through a rough patch with Fleetwood, Stevie Nicks found herself captivated by another legend in the music world. It was 1977, and she was riding high on the success of Fleetwood Mac's huge album, Rumours. Don Henley, the drummer and co-lead vocalist of the Eagles, was also at the top of his game. When these two music stars got together, sparks flew right away. Nicks and Henley were both known for their magnetic stage presence and their knack for expressing deep emotions through their unforgettable songs. They made a great pair, connected by their love for music and a shared understanding of the pressures that came with fame. But that intense passion that brought them together also led to their downfall. Juggling the demands of their bands and the challenges of being in a public relationship created a lot of stress. The crazy touring lifestyle, the temptations of being in the spotlight, and their strong personalities made things pretty volatile. The pregnancy and its aftermath. In the midst of this whirlwind romance, Nicks faced a surprise that changed everything. She found out she was pregnant. This news brought on a roller coaster of emotions and tough decisions. Both Nicks and Henley were at crucial points in their careers, dealing with busy tour schedules and responsibilities for new albums. The idea of becoming parents was tempting, but it felt like it wouldn't fit with where they were headed. After much soul-searching and undoubtedly painful deliberation, Nicks made the difficult decision to terminate the pregnancy. This choice, while deeply personal, would have far-reaching consequences for both her and Henley. It became a pivotal moment in their relationship, one that would color their interactions for years to come. The aftermath of this decision saw the gradual unraveling of their romantic relationship. The weight of what might have been, combined with the relentless pace of their careers, proved too much for their fledgling love to bear. Yet even as their romantic involvement came to an end, the impact of their time together would continue to resonate through their music. Collaboration with Jimmy Iovine in the early 1980s, Stevie Nicks and Jimmy Iovine had a unique vibe that blended their work relationship with a personal connection, which really shaped her music journey and the music scene in the early 80s. Nicks was already a rock star, and Iovine was up and coming as a producer, having worked on her first solo album, Donna. From the start, there was some serious chemistry between them. Iovine had a knack for understanding and enhancing Nicks's unique sound, and his drive matched hers perfectly. As they spent long hours collaborating in the studio, the professional side of their relationship started to shift into something more intimate. The making of Donna was a turning point for both their professional and personal lives. Those late nights making music together, their shared excitement for creating something special, and the close nature of that creative process fueled their growing attraction. Nicks found in Iovine more than just a talented producer. He was someone who really got her artistic vision and helped bring it to life. Impact on music and careers as their relationship deepened, it added layers of complexity to their work together. Iovine's influence on Nicks's music became more pronounced, helping shape the sound that would mark her solo career. Songs like Edge of 17 and Stop Dragging My Heart Around were standout results of their partnership, but their relationship wasn't without its challenges. Nicks had to juggle her commitments to Fleetwood Mac while kicking off her solo career, and Iovine was busy carving out his spot as a top producer in the industry. The challenge of balancing a romantic relationship with a professional partnership in the high-pressure environment of rock and roll took its toll. Despite these hurdles, the significance of their relationship persisted. As they collaborated professionally, even as their personal relationship evolved, they managed to navigate the fragile line between their previous intimacy and their ongoing work together. The conclusion of their romantic relationship did not signify the end of their impact on each other's lives and careers. Iovine became one of the leading figures in the music industry, co-founding Interscope Records and later playing a crucial role in the creation of Beats Electronics. Nicks continued to ride the waves of fame while contending with personal challenges. In 1982, while Nicks was enjoying success in her solo career, tragedy struck when Robin was diagnosed with terminal leukemia during her pregnancy with her first child. This devastating news hit Nicks hard as she faced the impending loss of her closest friend. As Robin's health worsened, Nicks dedicated herself to being there for her friend in her final moments. Robin's husband, Kim Anderson, was also heartbroken, leading to a strong connection and a decision that would later be viewed as a misguided effort to honor Robin's dying wish to care for her son. Nicks and Anderson made the sudden decision to marry just 3 months after Robin's death. Their marriage was met with astonishment and concern from their friends and family. Many perceived it as a hasty choice made out of grief rather than true love. Nicks would eventually confess that the marriage was an effort to keep Robin's memory alive and to take on a maternal role. The strong bond that formed after their shared loss started to fade, revealing their differences. Nicks loved the freedom and excitement of her rock and roll lifestyle, but it began to feel like too much responsibility. At home. On the flip side, Anderson struggled to fit in with Nicks's demanding career. They decided to go their separate ways after just 8 months of marriage, officially divorcing in 1984. Stevie Nicks' time with Joe Walsh was a big deal in her life, full of passion, challenges, and a bittersweet ending that left a mark on both of them and their music. Their relationship kicked off in the late 70s when both were riding high in their careers. Nicks was rocking it with Fleetwood Mac and her solo stuff, while Walsh was already known as an amazing guitarist. What made this relationship special for Nicks was that she felt like she had a true partner in Walsh. They were equals, each thriving in their own careers, coming together with lots of respect and admiration for each other. They bonded over their love for music, inspiring and pushing each other creatively. Nicks often called Walsh her soulmate, showing just how much he meant to her. But the weight of fame and their own struggles put a strain on their relationship. After a few years together, they realized it was best to part ways. While their romantic relationship ended on good terms, the impact of their time together on Nicks's life and music was huge. Walsh stayed a close friend and confidant, and you can still hear his influence in her music. Looking back, Nicks appreciated that, unlike her past relationships marked by competition or power struggles, her connection with Walsh felt equal and supportive. They really got each other, both as artists and as people dealing with fame's pressures. Their journey was filled with intense creativity, with Walsh inspiring some of Nicks's most heartfelt songs. His guitar skills meshed perfectly with her voice even as they tackled addiction issues together. Despite those challenges, their bond only grew stronger. They weren't just lovers, they became allies in their personal battles. Sharing the ups and downs of fame brought them closer, fostering a level of intimacy Nicks hadn't often felt in previous relationships. The intensity of their love shone through in their music, but they eventually realized they needed to split to focus on their individual recoveries. It was a tough decision for both of them, but it came from a place of love and the desire to look out for one another. After their breakup, Nicks went through a tough time filled with sadness and self-reflection. She later shared that ending things with Walsh was one of the hardest things she ever did. The pain from their separation fueled her creativity, and somehow their connection stayed strong. They managed to turn their love into a deep and lasting friendship. This ability to stay close even after their split showed just how much they genuinely cared for each other. Years later, both Nicks and Walsh looked back on their relationship with a mix of nostalgia and sorrow. For Nicks, Walsh was still the love of her life, having influenced her in a way that no one else could. That poetic vibe has really shaped her music, allowing listeners to relate to her experiences on a personal level. What sets Nicks apart as an artist is her knack for turning her own life experiences into stories that everyone can connect with. While her songs are often super personal, they hit home for audiences because they tap into common feelings of love, heartbreak, and resilience. Nicks has this amazing talent for transforming specific moments from her life into heartfelt narratives about longing, nostalgia, and hard-earned wisdom. Plus, her honesty about what inspires her music has created a special bond with her fans. People can see the threads of her romantic ups and downs in her lyrics, as if they're getting a glimpse into her intimate journey. This kind of openness has captivated fans for generations, leading them to see Nicks not just as a rock star, but as someone they can relate to in their own lives. Her changing perspectives on love and relationships really shine through in her songs. While the passionate romances from her younger days inspired fiery tunes, her later works often reflect a deeper and more thoughtful take on love. This growth mirrors Nicks's own journey, evolving from a young woman navigating the chaos of romance to a seasoned artist full of experiences to share.